Let me ask you something. How many of your choices are made because you fear what others will think? You hesitate to speak your mind, you avoid doing what you truly desire, you shape your life, your clothes, even your beliefs around what others expect. We live in a world that worships approval, yet quietly suffocates under its weight. Number 1. The invisible prison of opinions. In 180 AD, the Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Think about it. You might deeply want to pursue art, move to a new city, speak your truth in a meeting, or simply wear what you like. But a voice inside whispers, "What will they think of me?" And so you conform. You abandon your inner compass to follow the shifting winds of others' judgments. The irony is clear. People you fear judgment from aren't even thinking about you. Psychologists call this the spotlight effect, the belief that everyone is watching and evaluating us, when in reality, most people are too busy worrying about themselves. Your fear of opinions becomes an invisible prison dictating your actions, draining your joy, and keeping you in constant anxiety. Number 2, the root of this fear: evolution and ego. Why do we care so much about what others think? This need for approval isn't entirely your fault. Thousands of years ago, in tribal societies, rejection meant death. Being part of a group was essential for survival, and the fear of disapproval was your brain's way of ensuring you stayed within the safety of the tribe. But now, your brain is still wired to avoid rejection at all costs, even if the rejection is as simple as someone not liking your social media post or rolling their eyes at your dream. The philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau once said, "Man is born free, and everywhere he is in chains." Today, those chains are often the expectations of others. The more you seek validation, the more you live in a prison of your own making. Your ego craves approval to feel significant, to feel worthy. Yet the paradox is, the more you chase approval, the more you lose yourself. Number 3, the cost of caring too much. Ask yourself, how many opportunities have you lost because you were afraid of looking foolish? How many experiences did you deny yourself because you worried about judgment? How many times did you remain silent when your soul screamed to speak? Psychologists have found that people who constantly seek approval often struggle with chronic anxiety and low self-esteem. Why? Because your worth becomes tied to external opinions you can't control. If they approve, you feel good. If they disapprove, you feel worthless. It's a cycle of emotional slavery. The philosopher Epictetus taught, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them." It's not what others think that truly hurts you. It's your belief that their opinions define your value. Number 4, the illusion of control. Trying to control how others perceive you is like trying to control the wind. You can exhaust yourself bending, twisting, pleasing, and performing, but you will never fully control others' minds. And even if you gain their approval, it's temporary. People's opinions change as quickly as the weather. In a letter to Lucilius, the Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote, "What is freedom? It means not being a slave to any circumstance, to any constraint, to any chance. Freedom, real freedom, is impossible if your happiness depends on the approval of others." Number 5, the beginning of liberation, awareness. Before you can stop caring what people think, you must first become aware of how deeply this fear controls you. Observe your actions today. Are you posting something online because it's true to you or because you want likes? Are you avoiding saying something you believe because you fear judgment? Are you pursuing a job, lifestyle, or path to please your family or society? Become brutally honest. Awareness is the first step toward freedom. Number 6, the perspective shift. Imagine your life 50 years from now. Will you remember the opinions that held you back? Or will you regret not living authentically because you were too afraid of others? Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Life is too short to be lived according to the fears and judgments of others. When you realize that everyone is too consumed by their own insecurities to care deeply about yours, you begin to break free. Number 7, the power of inner approval. To stop caring what people think, you must replace the need for external approval with internal approval. Ask yourself, does this align with my values? Is this true to who I am? Will this choice move me toward the life I want? The philosopher Socrates was sentenced to death for his beliefs, but he said, "The unexamined life is not worth living. Better to live examined and authentic than to live in silent fear." Number 8, moving forward. In this video, you will learn how to identify how the fear of opinions controls you, reclaim your inner authority, build a mindset rooted in philosophy and psychology to become unshakable. Learn the practical steps to stop caring what people think and start living freely. Now it's time to learn how to break free. Not by pretending you don't care, but by building an anti-fragile mindset rooted in timeless philosophy and modern psychology. A mind that doesn't shatter under opinions, but grows stronger from challenges. 1. Understanding anti-fragility. The philosopher and author Nassim Nicholas Taleb describes anti-fragility as systems that gain from disorder. Fragile things break under pressure. Resilient things survive. Anti-fragile things improve because of stress. To stop caring about what people think, you must become anti-fragile. You don't simply tolerate opinions, you use them as fuel for growth. 2. Why opinions hurt. Ego attachment. Opinions hurt because your ego is attached to them. If someone calls you lazy, dumb, or weird, it stings only if you are uncertain about your identity. The Buddha taught, attachment is the root of suffering. The more you attach your worth to external approval, the more opinions will control your emotions. Solution: develop inner clarity. Write down, what are your values? What do you believe in deeply? What kind of life do you want to live? When you know yourself, external opinions lose power. 3. Exposure to discomfort. Psychologist Albert Ellis, creator of rational emotive behavior therapy, once practiced overcoming fear of judgment by intentionally doing embarrassing things in public. He would stand on the street and sing loudly or wear unusual clothes. Why? Because exposure to discomfort desensitizes fear. You can practice small actions. Share your opinion in a meeting, even if it feels scary. Wear what you truly like, even if it's not trendy. Post your thoughts online without obsessing over likes. By gradually exposing yourself, your mind learns nothing bad actually happens. Your fear shrinks and your courage grows. 4. Viktor Frankl and meaning. Holocaust survivor and psychologist Viktor Frankl wrote in Man's Search for Meaning, "Those who have a why to live can bear with almost any how." When you live with purpose, opinions fade. If your mission is to help others, to create, to serve, or to grow, opinions become background noise. You no longer chase approval, you chase your mission. Ask yourself, what am I living for? Your purpose becomes your anchor in the storm of judgment. 5. Cognitive reframing, Stoic practices. The Stoics practiced cognitive reframing to transform their perception of criticism. Epictetus advised, "Remember, it is not the person who insults you that harms you, but your own opinion that these things are insulting." Try this practice. When you receive criticism or judgment, pause and ask, is this true? If so, use it to improve. If it's false, why am I upset? What can I learn from this? By reframing opinions as feedback or irrelevant noise, you reclaim your power. 6. Limiting comparison. Social media and constant connectivity fuel comparison traps. You see curated highlights of others' lives and feel inadequate. As Theodore Roosevelt said, comparison is the thief of joy. Practical steps. Limit social media scrolling. Unfollow accounts that trigger comparison. Replace mindless scrolling with activities that build your self-worth. Reading, learning, exercising, creating. Remember that you are on your path, not theirs. 7. Building self-trust through action. You don't build confidence by thinking about confidence. You build it by taking aligned action. Every time you act in accordance with your values despite fear, you strengthen your inner foundation. As Ralph Emerson wrote, "Do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is certain." You become someone who trusts themselves regardless of opinions. 8. Meditative reflection, memento mori. The Stoics practiced memento mori, remembering death not to create fear, but to inspire courage. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." When you realize your time is limited, fear of judgment feels trivial. You don't have time to live someone else's life. 9. The power of detachment. Detachment isn't indifference. It is caring deeply about your values while letting go of what is outside your control. Opinions are outside your control. Your actions, thoughts, and integrity are within your control. As Epictetus reminds us, some things are up to us and some things are not. Focus on what is yours to direct. 10. Community and environment. Surround yourself with people who respect your authenticity. When you share space with those who live honestly, you feel safer to be yourself. If your environment constantly criticizes and pressures you to conform, it is not an environment for your growth. 11. Journaling for clarity. Every day, ask yourself, where did I seek approval today? How did it affect me? How can I act according to my values tomorrow? Journaling transforms vague fears into clear, actionable awareness. 12. Acceptance of criticism as part of life. Great thinkers, artists, and leaders were all criticized. Socrates was sentenced to death. Galileo was persecuted for truth. Van Gogh was ridiculed during his life. If they had waited for approval, their light would have never reached the world. Criticism is often a sign you're living authentically.
You've learned why you care so deeply about what others think, and you've discovered the mindset needed to become anti-fragile. Now it's time to take practical steps. Steps that you can begin today to transform your relationship with judgment, fear, and social approval, so you can live in alignment with your soul. We will focus on 3 timeless steps that are simple but not easy. Steps great thinkers and philosophers use to build inner freedom. 1. Silent observation. Awareness before action. Most people react automatically when they sense judgment. A friend frowns, you feel uneasy. Someone comments negatively, you spiral into overthinking. But what if you paused? The ancient Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius, practiced silent observation before reacting to any event. Marcus wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Your first step is to observe your triggers without judgment. Notice when you feel hurt by someone's opinion. Pause. Feel the discomfort without escaping. Ask, why does this bother me? Often you will find your reaction is rooted in fear of rejection, desire for approval, or a hidden insecurity. By observing these feelings instead of reacting, you begin to dissolve their power. Reflection exercise. take 10 minutes at the end of your day to journal. What opinions today triggered discomfort in me? What fear was beneath that discomfort? What would I do differently if I didn't fear judgment? This daily practice will build emotional awareness, a prerequisite for freedom. 2. Action without permission, training your courage. Knowledge without action is meaningless. To stop caring what people think, you must train yourself through deliberate, courageous action. This is not about ignoring people. It's about aligning your actions with your values, regardless of opinions. The philosopher Ralph Emerson emphasized, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Practical implementation. Choose small but meaningful actions that challenge your fear of judgment. Speak your opinion in a conversation, even if it differs. Express your creativity, whether it's art, writing, or sharing your thoughts online without waiting for validation. Wear what feels like you, not what is expected. Say no when you want to, even if it disappoints others. You don't have to start big. Each small act of alignment trains your nervous system to realize, I can act without permission, and I survive. With repetition, your brain rewires, reducing fear of disapproval and building inner trust. Optional micro-challenges. Share a piece of your work online without overthinking. Walk outside in an outfit you love but fear might stand out. Share your honest perspective in a discussion, even if it risks disagreement. These micro-challenges are your training ground for a freer life. 3. Living for your purpose. Transcending judgment. The final and most profound step is to anchor your life in purpose. When your days are guided by your purpose, opinions lose their grip. Viktor Frankl, who survived the Holocaust, wrote, "Those who have a why to live can bear with almost any how." When you are aligned with your why, criticism becomes background noise. Approval is pleasant but not essential. Disapproval becomes a teacher or irrelevant. Finding your purpose. Ask yourself, what kind of impact do I want to leave? What deeply matters to me? How do I want to spend my limited time on Earth? Your purpose does not need to be grand. It may be supporting your family with love, creating art that expresses your truth, building something meaningful for your community. Purpose transforms fear into clarity. It gives you the strength to act despite discomfort because you know why you are doing what you do. Daily alignment practice. Each morning, remind yourself, what is my purpose today? What one action can I take aligned with that purpose, even if it risks judgment? As you repeat this, you live from alignment, not fear. Conclusion of Part 3. You have learned to observe judgment triggers without reacting, to take aligned action without permission, to live guided by your purpose, not opinions. This is the true art of learning to stop caring what people think, not from arrogance or numbness, but from inner alignment, purpose, and repeated courageous action. If you found value here, subscribe and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Comment below, what is one action you will take this week without waiting for approval?